It's time to talk fantasy football. It's time to let them know. Where you let us crunch the numbers while you crush the competition. So grab your playbooks and crack a cold one, because here's your hosts, Teak and Baney.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the podcast. Today, we are talking about the NFL playoffs, a couple other topics there. Excuse me. As you can see on the side there. So, I have to rant. Just kick it all off here. Got to talk about Atlanta and who's to blame in this franchise to start off here. All right. So, we got the owner, GM, coach, Cousins. Pick one. It's like the Spider-Man meme. Everybody's pointing at one another. Who's to blame here? The owner? We'll start with the owner. Is it the owner for hiring a familiar face in Raheem Morris? He was already in Atlanta as an assistant coach. Was a head coach other places as well. Didn't do too hot. So is it on the owner for, going back to the well of what we already know what he's capable of? The GM not pushing strong enough for Harbaugh and his lackluster drafting in these recent drafts. Coach Morris himself, terrible clock management and not being able to know when to pull the plug on Cousins and giving Penix an opportunity actually to get us in the playoffs and seal the NFC South. So also Cousins himself. There's reports out now that he wasn't even healthy. So if he knew this, the team knew this, why drag the team down with him then, if that's the case? Now, these are rumor reports. I don't know if they're true or not. Yes, he started off the season 6-3. That stint of one touchdown with 9 picks. After game 2, he threw back-to-back 3 interceptions per game. I would have been like, okay, let's, sit him down for a game, see how Penix does, and then come back to him if Penix wasn't, producing. But Atlanta's going to Atlanta, I feel for these fans. So, speaking of Cousins, Atlanta has now announced they will keep Cousins if they don't like the trade offers for Cousins. So, Atlanta is a circus right now, okay? You bring in a guy, okay, hoping to change the offense. You throw a bag at him. Dude's just been getting money his whole career. Throwing bags at him, okay, for this guy to change this offense. In the same breath, that same draft, you go ahead and take a QB at number 8 in the draft when you could have filled other needs. Defense, okay? Defense is huge right now for Atlanta of why they aren't the team they're supposed to be. Now, you could have filled these needs 2 different ways. You look at it. Okay, you already signed Kirk. Let's go out and get an edge rusher. If not, free agency. You should have went out and got an edge rusher. And then this draft, you're picking at 8, you got Penix. So it could have happened one of those 2 ways where you could have filled a void. Instead, they doubled down on the QB position. Okay. I understand that as well. You don't know how Kirk Cousins was going to respond to injury. Bring in Penix. Little QB controversy there as well. But after 14 games now, you bench the highest paid guy on this roster. Okay. And then you say you don't mind keeping him. He's about to be the highest paid backup in NFL history. Let that sink in. So I guess that's going to end my rant. It's just, when is enough for us as Atlanta fans? It is just, ever since 2016, it's just been a roller coaster ride downhill. So moving on here, as you can see the next topic there. Tyreek wants out of Miami. Tyreek Hill, after the game, told reporters, and this is quotes here from him, "I just got to do what's best for me and my family. If that's here or wherever the case may be, I'm going to open that door for myself. I'm out, bro. Now, obviously, the reporter followed up with him. He goes, "Hey, Tyreek, does this mean you're leaving?" Tyreek responded, nodding his head, was like, "Yeah, bro. Yes." Hill followed up with that on X, doubled down on that with his post, "Love Finn Nation, blessing y'all, open the doors for the Hill family, forever nothing but respect and love." I don't know if this is just a lot of emotions with Hill after the game, his first time missing the playoffs. What's Hill's trade value? Okay. What do you guys think Hill's trade value can be? Right? Because he said himself he's only going to be playing for another, like, what, couple years, and that's it. Now he wants out, and teams know that. So why you're not going to throw your best offer on the table when potentially they're going to release him now? And then where does he want to go? Like, I know there's already teams, as you can see on the screen here. Micah Parsons already reaching out to Tyreek Hill, made his first case for Tyreek on X, saying we can be the fastest duo in the league. We also don't have state income taxes. So little joke there, kind of warming up, but Micah's already recruiting. I don't know how that's going to work in Dallas. They have a salary cap issue as well. They just paid Dak, CD. They're talking to the coach now about re-signing the coach. Micah was in talks about him being the odd man out of Dallas, but obviously he thinks otherwise they're going to get a deal done. Now, how are you going to bring Tyreek Hill and all of that as well, which I don't think will happen, but Micah's very hopeful for that as well. But moving on here. Coaching carousel. This is one of my favorite topics here that we're going to talk about, guys. This is fun to watch and interesting at the same time. Which head coaching position is the most intriguing to you guys? What do you think is the best landing spot you would go to if you were a head coach? I'm here in Chicago a ton. Belichick said himself that was his choice before, going to college and accepting the UNC position. We're hearing the Bears are also interviewing Vrabel. Also, the Bears reached out to Dallas to talk to McCarthy. Dallas obviously shut that down. The Bears are also interviewing Ben Johnson as well. Also, rumors going about too. Trades for head coaches is kind of crazy. There might be a coach that gets traded. There are rumors circulating. Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell and Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin. Who knows? But these two names are out there in this. Do I think the Steelers are going to trade Tomlin? No. Steelers are not known to move on from head coaches. They kind of stay put with their coaches. And if you're the Vikings, why not re-sign Kevin O'Connell? He showed you he can coach, letting Kirk Cousins go, turn Sam Darnold into a playoff quarterback. Sam Darnold played phenomenal this season. I don't see those teams budging from their head coaches. Now, Saints interviewing Lions defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn. That's their favorite to land there. I think that is going to be a match there. He's going to sign with the Saints, I strongly believe. Head coach for the Lions, Dan Campbell, also came out and said about Aaron Glenn, hey, if no one wants this guy, we'll be happy to take him back. And yeah, I bet you would. And I bet you would want Ben Johnson back too. But that already happened this season here. I don't think it's going to happen again. And Dan Campbell's going to get new coaching staff all around here. And we'll see how the Lions fare with these guys coaching elsewhere if that does happen. So, as you can see, when coaches get taken from other organizations, it kind of puts on a damper sometimes. Happened with Atlanta after that Super Bowl run. Obviously, Kyle Shanahan going to the Niners helped the Niners tremendously. And more recently for DC, Ryan Nielsen, who made this, wasn't a great defense, but it was middle road defense. Now look at our defense with Jimmy Lake. Coaches are everything, And Jets interviewing a familiar face. Rex Ryan got an interview with the Jets. oh, man, it just feels right. I hope that goes through. It just feels right. There's something about Rex Ryan and head coaching the Jets just seems right for football. And I hope it happens. I'm a big, big fan of that happening, but we'll see. Because he's not a fan of Aaron Rodgers. So if Rex Ryan gets the job, Rodgers ain't going to be there anyway. Rodgers might retire anyway. So this is exciting to follow this coaching journey because, as you see, Detroit, a good coach can make a huge difference in your franchise, might turn it around. So, or you have a bad coaching hire, you're like Atlanta, always, around. So, next one up here. Show me the money. Just give me my money. Okay. So, these are some notable guys. Okay. You may put props on to hit their incentive bonuses. Let's go down the list here. Hey, in the comments, please leave if you hit your bonuses. If you had a guy on this list that didn't hit their bonus and you missed a parlay or whatever it may be, we like to look those over and see how you guys did. This guy threw some prop bets on myself. Mike Evans needed 5 catches for 85 yards, had 9 for 89. Geno Smith needed 185 passing yards, had 223. D-Hop needed a big game. He did not play. Kyler Murray needed 50 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown, had 22 yards on the ground. Derrick Henry needed a touchdown. He had 2. Cortland Sutton needed 82 yards, had 98 yards. Tony Pollard needed 83 yards, had 62. Joe Mixon needed 107, had 23. Valdez Scantling needed a touchdown, did not get it. And J.K. Dobbins needed 58 and had 63. So let us know in the comments if you made any prop bets, which one you guys hit or missed. Because there were some guys there sprinkled a little bit on. Mike Evans was definitely my top one. Baker loves getting them guys incentive bonuses. So, but moving on here to what we all came for. It's no longer Super Wildcard Weekend. It's just Wildcard Weekend all of a sudden now. So here we go. Chargers at Houston. This one is going to be a battle. I think this is going to be a coin flip of a match here. It's going to come down to these two defenses, okay? Who plays better? I'm going with the Chargers in this one. Injuries for this one. Obviously, Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell both on the IR with a knee injury. John Mechie is questionable with a head injury. Chargers, Joshua Palmer, foot. Linebacker Denzel Perryman, groin, and running back Gus Edwards' ankle are all listed as questionable as well in this one. So, moving on. Steelers at the Ravens. These AFC games are always tough. Steelers are on a 4-game losing streak heading into Baltimore. I got the Ravens in this one, but if you're a betting man, I don't know if I'm laying the 10 points or not. AFC North games are usually always close, so I'm not going to put it past the Steelers to keep it close, but I'm taking the Ravens if I were a money line, and I might sprinkle a little bit there, taking the points with the Steelers as well. So injuries in this one, Dante Jackson, cornerback, back is questionable. Cam Hayward, defensive end, is sick but expected to play. Mason McCormick, offensive lineman, there, broken hand but expected to play. Ravens, Zay Flowers, knee day-to-day. Justice Hill and O-line Patrick McCarry, both expected to play as well. Broncos at Bills. Man, I think Sean Payton's going to have a handful for this one. Man, I'm taking the Bills on this one. Josh Allen has been playing amazing football, without a doubt. Denver, very limited on injuries. Bills, however, Amari Cooper, personal reason, is questionable. Spencer Brown, questionable. Terrell Bernard, questionable. Tommy Doyle, tackle knees on the IR. And Connor McGovern, their guard, is out with a shoulder injury. But Buffalo is just, especially playoffs in Buffalo, in the cold, it is. I know I'm close to Buffalo. It's snowing where I'm at, so it might be another snowy one for them Bills fans, and they love it when it's snowing and their Bills are playing at home. So I'm going full Bills on this one. but the Broncos are getting hot at the right time. Moving on to Packers at Eagles, two teams that can both see winning this game. If Jalen Hurts is good to go, I'm leaning Eagles. Looks like he is. If not, I'm going Packers in this one. Packers are a little bit banged up. Christian Watson's out with an ACL. Jordan Love is going to be okay on this one, it looks like. And Quay Walker, linebacker, is optimistic to play as well. Eagles, like I said, Jalen Hurts, it looks like he practiced, a limited practice, but I can see him playing as well. Commanders at Bucks. Man, this is going to be a fireworks game, I think. Both QBs made a statement this season. Baker, 4,500 yards and 41 touchdowns. And Jaden Daniels, 35, almost 3,600 yards, 25 TDs, and 890 yards rushing on the ground with 6 rushing touchdowns. Another coin flip game, I think. Bucks didn't look too hot against the Saints, but these Bucks, when they get into the playoffs, sometimes they make some noise, okay? Todd Bowles calling the defense sometimes surprises a lot of offenses. Taking the Commanders in this one solely because I think the Bucks have a great shot at winning this game, but I'm taking the Commanders solely because I cannot root for the Bucks because they're in Atlanta's division. And I just can't do it. They're a rival. I'm never going to root for a rival unless I got money on it. I'm not betting this game, so I don't got no money on it. So Bucks do have a good chance, I believe, but rooting for the Commanders to knock them out, obviously. So, hey, don't hold it against me, okay? Vikings at Rams. This one is moved to Arizona because of the fires there in LA. Now, hopefully everybody's okay down there. Hopefully they can get those put out as soon as possible. But the NFL, I believe, missed a golden opportunity on this one. Okay? So Rams are at home. They're moving to Arizona. Why not move this game to St. Louis? Why? You give the fans a little tip of the cap, like, hey, we appreciate you guys. I know the move hurt a lot of fans, St. Louis to LA. We're going to reward you back with a playoff game in St. Louis. Why? That would have been electric. That would have been, they missed a golden opportunity here. And I think they're going to realize that and shake their heads that, like, hey, we messed up on this one. But, man, I'm going to take the Vikings in this one. Another coin flip game. These games are going to be pretty close. Vikings are just a more all-around team, but this Rams offense can put it on you quick. Kyron Williams, Puka, Cooper Kupp. Stafford's still slinging that thing, but Vikings have been hot all season. They're playing good football as well. So that wraps up the NFL playoff picture here. I'm going to follow my next video with the Penn State versus Notre Dame game and Ohio State, Texas. So tune in for that one. Let me guys know what you think about the NFL playoffs. Who you got win these games, what you agree with, what you don't agree with. And hey, Commanders, let's get it done against the Bucs, shall we? That's what I'm hoping for here. So we thank you guys. Please hit that subscribe button. We are trying to get to 400 subs. It is totally free. Just that red subscribe button down at the bottom. We love and appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.